Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Sukha Uvacha. Iti Bhagavata Pristha Kshatravartam Priyashrayam Prativaktum Nakute Sa Utkantyat Samiretsvara.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhava was asked by Vidura to speak on the messages of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhava was unable to answer immediately due to excessive anxiety at the remembrance of the Lord.
Text 2. Ya panchahayano matra pratarasaya yachita tanne chadrachayanyasya tapayam balalilaya.
He was one who, even in his childhood, at the age of 5 years, was so absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna that when he was called by his mother for morning breakfast, he did not wish to have it.
Text 3. Sakatam sevaya tasya kalena jarasam gataha prishto vartam pratribriyad bhartu padav anusmaran.
Uddhava thus served the Lord continually from childhood, and in his old age that attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the message of the Lord, he at once remembered all about it.
Text 4. Samuhurtam abhut tusnim Krishnan giri sudaya vrisham Tivrena bhakti yogena nimagna sadhu nirvritaha.
For a moment he remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy.
Text 5. Ulakodi bina sarvango munchan mila drisa sucha Purnartho lakshitastena sneha prashara samplutaha.
It was so observed by Vidura that Uddhava had all the transcendental bodily changes due to total ecstasy, and he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from his eyes. Thus Vidura could understand that Uddhava had completely assimilated extensive love for the Lord.
Text 6. Sanakir bhagavat lokan nilokam punaragataha vrimrijya nitra viduram vitaya yodhava utmayan.
The great devotee Uddhava soon came back from the abode of the Lord to the human plane, and wiping his eyes, he awakened his reminiscence of the past and spoke to Vidura in a pleasing mood.
Text 7. Uddhava uvacha Krishna dyumani nimloche Trineshva agjarenaha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gata shishu griheshvaha.
Sri Uddhava said, My dear Vidura, the son of the world, Lord Krishna has said, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare?
Text 8. Durbhago batalloko yam yadavo nitaram api ye samvasanto navidur harimina ivodupam.
This universe, with all its planets, is most unfortunate, and even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead, any more than the fish could identify the moon.
Text 9. Ingitagna puru parudha एकरमश्च सत्वतः सत्वतं ऋषभं सर्वे भूतावशम् अमं सता.
The Yadus were all experienced devotees, learned and expert in psychic study. Over and above this, they were always with the Lord in all kinds of relaxations, and still they were only able to know him as the one supreme who dwells everywhere.
Text 10. Devasya maya sprista ye chanyad asad ashritaha brahmyate dirna tadvakyer atmani upatmano haro.
Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls.
Text 11. Pradasa yattapa tapasam advitpatadrisham ninam adyantar adhadyastu vabimbam lokalochanam.
Lord Sri Krishna, who manifested his eternal form before the vision of all on the earth, performed his disappearance by removing his form from the sight of those who were unable to see him as he is, due to not executing required penance.
Text 12. Yanmartya lila upayikam svayoga maya balam darshyata grihitam vishmapanam svasya chaso pragarde param padam bhushana bhushanangam.
The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastime. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus is Sri Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments.
Text 13. Yadharma sunor vatarajasuye niriksyadrikspasthayanam triloka pathasnayena chadyeha gatam vidatur arvakstroikoshalam iti amanyata.
All the demigods from the upper, lower, and middle universal planetary systems assemble at the altar of the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma, the creator of human beings.
Text 14. Yasanuraga rutaha sarasa leelavaloka pratilabdha manaha rajastriyodrigbhir anupravarata dhiyo vatastuhu kila krityasheshaha.
The damsels of Raj, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duties.
Text 15. Vasantarupeshvar itare swaruper abhyardamanyeshva anukampitatma paravaresho mahadansayukto yajupijato bhagavan yathagnahi.
The personality of Godhead, the all-compassionate controller of both the spiritual and material creation, is unborn. But when there is friction between his peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, he takes birth, just like fire, accompanied by the Mahatattva.
Text 16. Mam khedayate etadajyasjanma vidambanam yad vasudeva gehe raje cha vasu nibhayati vasvayam पुरद्वयत्सिद् यदनन्तवीर्यः.
When I think of Lord Krishna, how he was born in the prison house of Vasudev, although he is unborn, how he went away from his father's protection to Raj and lived there incognito out of fear of the enemy, and how, although unlimitedly powerful, he fled from Mathura in fear. All these bewildering incidents give me distress.
Text 17. Runoti chetah smaroto mamitnitad yadaha padav abhivandya pitraho tatambakam shad guru sankitanam prasidatam no vita niskritinam.
Lord Krishna begged pardon from his parents for their, Krishna and Balaram's, ability to serve their feet, inability to serve their feet, due to being away from home because of great fear of Kamsa. He said, O mother, O father, please excuse us for this inability. All this behavior of the Lord gives me pain at heart.
Text 18. Kuva amaya sangari sarojarenum vishmartum tista punam vijigrahan yo vispurat prihu vitapena bhume bharam kritantena tirashkarara.
Who, after smelling the dust of his lotus feet even once, could ever forget it? Simply by expanding the leaves of his eyebrows, Krishna has given the death blow to those who were burdening the earth.
Text 19. Rishta bhavadvir nanurajasuye chedyasya krishnam divashatopi siddhi yam yogina samasprayanti samyak yogena kastad viraham saheta.
You have personally seen how the king of Cheti, Sisupala, achieved success in yoga practice. Although he hated Lord Krishna, even the actual yogis aspire after such success with great interest by performance of their various practices. Who can tolerate separation from
it? Tatheva chanye naraloka vira ya ahave Krishna mukhura vindanam netre pibantu nayana piharumam Parthashtraputaha padamapurasya.
Certainly others, who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to recite.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity, and please forgive our mistakes.
Hare Krishna, Gita Mataji and Janush Prabhu. That was very nice hearing you all recite. It was beautiful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for coming together for today's class. I'm very privileged that I can be part of your association and today's discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll begin, as we traditionally do, by reciting the Mangala Charan prayers. Please feel free to join in, be unmuted mics. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutan Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gourange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivashadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachar Vishatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I really love this chapter from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is so relishable. Actually, everything in Bhagavatam is relishable, but each of us are individuals. And there are certain parts of the Bhagavatam that attracts us even more so. So, yeah, it is. What I find so beautiful about this chapter is because Uddhava is revealing his remembrance of Krishna. It is said the bhav, the love of the devotee, sits deep within the heart of the devotee, and it's hidden. We can't really see what's in the heart of the pure devotees. But we get some insight into what's in their heart is when they speak. Because their heart is full of bhavas, and bhavas mean remembrances of the Lord. We understand from our Krishna consciousness philosophy that the goal of all activities is to remember Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami has stated very nicely, Smartavya satatam Vishnu vishmartavyo najatuchit sarva vidi nishedavshu etayo eva kinkaraha. Srila Rupa Goswami said, Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these two principles. So Srila Rupa Goswami has taught us that the goal of Krishna consciousness is constant, deep remembrance of Krishna. These are the activities of the pure devotees. 24 hours a day, they are hearing and chanting about Krishna, and the fruit of the hearing and chanting of Krishna is the remembrance. So yeah, we get insight into the heart of a very great devotee of Lord Krishna, Uddhava. So let's jump in this particular verses 2 to 14. They are, Uddhava remembers the attractive beauty of the Lord. So we are getting insight into how a pure devotee remembers the attractive beauty of Krishna. So let's see and let's read of how this is happening within the heart of Uddhava. So let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, I need to just go back to the right section. Okay, I guess you can see that. Text number 12. We're discussing text 12 to 14 today.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yanmar Jalila Paikam Swayoga Maya Balam Darsayata Grihitam Vishmapanam Swasya Jasabho Gadadhe Param Padam Bhushana Bhushanangam. Word for word. Yat is eternal form, which Martya, mortal world, Lila, Upayikam, just suitable for the pastimes. Swayoga Maya, Balam, potency of the internal energy. Darsayata for manifestation. Gritam, discovered. Vishmapanam, wonderful. Swasya, of his own. Ja, and Swabhaga Ridhe, of the opulent Param, supreme. Padam, ultimate stand. Bhushana, ornament. Bhushana, Angam, of the ornaments. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes are wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his Sri Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. Purport. In conformity with the Vedic hymns, Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, the personality of Godhead is more excellent than all other living beings within all the universes in the material world. He is the chief of all living entities. No one can surpass him or be equal to him in wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, or enunciation. When Lord Krishna was within this universe, he seemed to be a human being because he appeared in a manner just suitable for his pastimes in the mortal world. He did not appear in human society in his Vaikuntha feature with 4 hands because that would not have been suitable for his pastimes. But in spite of his appearing as a human being, no one was or is equal to him in any respect in any of the 6 different opulences. Everyone is more or less proud of his opulence in this world. But when Lord Krishna was in human society, he excelled all his contemporaries within the universe. When the Lord's pastimes are visible to the human eye, they are called prakat. And when they are not visible, they are called aprakat. In fact, the Lord's pastimes never stop, just as the sun never leaves the sky. The sun is always in its right orbit in the sky, but it is sometimes visible and sometimes invisible to our limited vision. Similarly, the pastimes of the Lord are always current in one universe or another. And when Lord Krishna disappeared from the transcendental abode of Dwaraka, it was simply a disappearance from the eyes of the people there. It should not be misunderstood that his transcendental body, which is just suitable for the pastimes in the mortal world, is in any way inferior to his different expansions in the Vaikuntha Lokas. His body manifested in the material world is transcendental par excellence. In the sense that his pastimes in the mortal world excel his mercy displayed in the Vaikuntha Lokas. In the Vaikuntha Lokas, the Lord is merciful toward the liberated and Nitya Mukta living entities. But in his pastimes in the mortal world, he is merciful even to the fallen souls that are Nitya Bada, or conditioned forever. The 6 excellent opulences which he displayed in the mortal world by the agency of his internal potency, Yogamaya, are rare even in the Vaikuntha Lokas. All his pastimes are manifested not by his material energy, but by his spiritual energy. The excellence of his Rasa Leela at Vrindavan and his household life with 16,000 wives is wonderful even for Narayan in Vaikuntha, and is certainly so for other living entities within this mortal world. His pastimes are wonderful even for other incarnations of the Lord, such as Sri Ram, Nishinga, and Varaha. His opulence was so super excellent that his pastimes were adored even by the Lord of Vaikuntha, who is none different from Lord Krishna himself. So there's a lot to say about this verse in purport. Yeah, let's just see if we can touch on a few things. The one point I'd like to talk about is this point about prakat and aprakat. So as we all sit here reading and discussing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, right now somewhere in some universe Krishna is performing Rasa Leela. Right now in some universe Krishna is performing the Damodar Leela. Right now in some universe Krishna is performing some pastimes with the 16,000 wives in Dwarka. So all of these pastimes of Krishna are eternal. When they are manifest before our eyes or on the planet in which we are living, that is called prakat. And when they are not manifest, it doesn't mean they are not happening. I remember one time I was serving my Guru Maharaj, and we went out to do some service, and when we came back it was very late, and we were doing the Damodarastakam prayers and we were offering lamps, and I cooked to my Guru Maharaj, we are doing this so late, and he said, don't worry, right now somewhere Lord Krishna is performing his Damodar pastimes and we are honoring that. So yeah, Krishna's pastimes are, Prabhupada gives the analogy of the sun. Sometimes the sun is visible to us and sometimes it's not. When it's not visible to us, we don't conclude that the sun has disappeared. The sun is not performing any activities. It's not visible to us, but the sun is still there and it is still carrying on its activities. So in the same way, our Lord Krishna's pastimes are eternal and they go on all over the world. And we should appreciate that's happening. Then Prabhupada goes on to say some other very interesting things in the purport. He said, it should not be misunderstood that his transcendental body, which is just suitable for his pastimes in the mortal world, is in any way inferior to his different expansions in Vaikuntha Loka. Sometimes some people have a misconception that the Vrindavan pastimes that Krishna performs here are less than maybe it's performed anywhere else. Like the Mayavadis, they mistakenly think that the pastimes that Krishna is performing here, he's performing them in a material body. Prabhupada reminds us in the purport that all of the Lord's pastimes are happening according to his internal potency. And we should understand that they are non-different. And Prabhupada talks about it in relation to the Vaikuntha Lokas. Sometimes some people think what's happening in the Vaikuntha Lokas is better than what's happening here in the material world. Prabhupada is saying no, and Prabhupada said it's even better. The pastimes happening here are even better. Why? Did anyone catch why Prabhupada is making that statement? Anyone? Okay, Prabhupada says there. Prabhupada is saying here, because Krishna's wonderful quality of his mercy, his compassion, is displayed even to a greater degree in the material world than the Vaikuntha Lokas. Krishna is always merciful. He's merciful in Vaikuntha Loka. But there, he's only merciful to his devotees. He's showing mercy in only one facet in relation to his devotees. But in the material world, Krishna is showing mercy even to the fallen souls, the Nitya Bhadas. Not only in this Vaikuntha Lokas, it's only the Nitya Muktas. But in the material world, it's even the Nitya Bhadas. Therefore, it is said sometimes that the demigods they just pray to become part of the pastimes of the Lord in the material world, because they are so extraordinary. His display of his compassion is just so super excellent that it is something very beautiful to behold, very endearing to behold. Then Prabhupada goes on to say, the 6 excellent opulences which he displayed in the mortal world by the agents of his internal potency are rare even in the Vaikuntha lokas. All his pastimes were manifested not by the material energy, by spiritual energy. The excellence of his Rasa Leela at Vrindavan and his also life with 16,000 wives is even wonderful even for Narayan and Vaikuntha. And it is certainly so for other living into this mortal world. So Prabhupada is saying that even Vishnu in the Vaikuntha lokas, he is very eager to behold Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes that are happening in this material world. We know from the Bhagavatam or from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lakshmi Devi, once she had a desire to want to participate in the Rasa Leela, and then she was stopped. She was told, you can't do this because you have to appear as a coward girl and work with cow dung and with the cows. And Lakshmi Devi, she couldn't do that. She couldn't give up on opulence. So one time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Venkatabhata and he joked. He said, how is it that, the wife of Lord Vishnu, she wants to give up the company of Vishnu. And she's the most chaste woman in the world. And she wants to come and enjoy with pastimes with Lord Krishna. And Venkatabhata replied, but it's the same person. Vishnu and Krishna are the same. So a chastity is not broken. Yes, but Mahaprabhu said, yes, but Krishna is so attractive, even Lakshmi. Even Vishnu himself, he's so attracted to this pastimes of Lord Krishna because they're so, so beautiful. And Prabhupada makes the point that even the other incarnations like Sri Ram, Nrsimha, and Varaha, they also remember the beautiful pastimes of Lord Krishna. So we have to move on. Let's carry on. Yadharmasuno bhadarajasuye nirikshadriksvastayananam trilokaha kasneyena chajyeha gatam vihatur arvakshritau kaushalam iti amanyata. All the demigods from the upper, lower, and middle universal planetary systems assembled at the altar of the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma, the creator of human beings. I just remembered one point from the previous verse. I just want to go to that. This word, Parampadam Bhushana Bhushanangam. Thus, Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. It's beautiful. It is said normally in this material world, we put on ornaments to beautify the body. Ornaments, necklaces, and ladies put earrings and nose rings and so many different ornaments to enhance the beauty of the body. But with Krishna, his body is so beautiful that the ornaments become beautified by being associated with Krishna's body. Thus, his transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. So, if the ornament was to have an ornament, that would be Krishna's body. Sorry, I just forgot I want to mention that. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma, the creator of human beings. Purport. There was nothing comparable to the beautiful features of Lord Krishna when he was present in this world. The most beautiful object in the material world may be compared to the blue lotus flower or the full moon in the sky. But even the lotus flower and the moon were defeated by the beauty of the bodily features of Lord Krishna. And this was certified by the demigods, the most beautiful living creatures in the universe. The demigods thought that Lord Krishna, like themselves, was also created by Lord Brahma. But in fact, Lord Brahma was created by Lord Krishna. It was not within the power of Lord Brahma to create the transcendental beauty of Lord, the Supreme Lord. No one is the creator of Krishna, rather, he is the creator of everyone. As he says in the Bhagavad Gita 10:8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. Again, there's such beautiful, beautiful descriptions here in the Bhagavatam. That, if you want to describe something very beautiful, and nobody has any experience of something so beautiful, the only way you can do it is by thinking, what is the most beautiful thing in this material world? What is the most beautiful thing? And people think, oh, okay, the beauty of a blue lotus is unsurpassed. So you say, okay, maybe, Krishna's beauty is like the blue lotus. Like, in the Damodara Astakam prayers, the poet is trying to describe the lips of Krishna. And he says, your lips is as beautiful as the ripe bimba fruit. So, people try to find out in the material world what is beautiful, the blue lotus flower. What is also something very beautiful, the full moon in the sky. Everyone is attracted when you go and see the full moon in the sky. It's quite awesome to behold. So some people try to give some clue of what Krishna's beauty is. But Prabhupada is saying, yeah, even that, it's completely defeated by the beauty of Krishna's bodily features. And this was certified by the demigods. The demigods, when they came to attend the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhisthira, and they saw Krishna's beautiful bodily features, they thought, here is the ultimate perfection of Brahma's creation. Well, Brahma is the creation of the entire material world, secondary creator, and there are so many amazing, beautiful things in this material world. But they said, no, the pinnacle of all of Brahma's creation has to be Krishna. But Prabhupada is saying here, but they don't know, or they were thinking that Lord Krishna was created by Brahma, but actually Brahma was created by Lord Krishna. Krishna is not created by anyone. He's eternal. Anadir Adir Govinda Sava Karana Karanam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. So Krishna's beauty is even Lord Brahma, he can't. It's just self-manifested beauty. Krishna's beauty is eternal. How are we doing for time? Okay. So one more verse, then we'll have time for discussion. Yasya Nuragha Pluta Asharasa Lila Valoka Pratilabdamanaha Vrajashriyo Drigbir Anupravritta Diyo Vatashtu Kilakritjasheshaha. The damsels of Raj, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duties. Purport. In his boyhood at Vrindavan, Lord Krishna was notorious as a teasing friend in transcendental love to all the girls his age. His love for them was so intense that there is no comparison to that ecstasy. And the damsels of Raja were so much attached to him that their affection excelled that of the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Lord Krishna finally admitted his defeat before the transcendental affection of the gopis and declared that he was unable to repay them for their unalloyed affection. Although the gopis were seemingly anguished by the Lord's teasing behavior, when Krishna would leave them, they could not tolerate the separation and used to follow him with their eyes and minds. They were so stunned by the situation that they could not finish their household duties. No one could excel him even in the dealing of love exchange between boys and girls. It is said in the revealed scriptures that Lord Krishna personally never goes beyond the boundaries of Vrindavan. He remains there eternally because of the transcendental love of the inhabitants. Thus, even though he is not visible at present, he is not away from Vrindavan for a moment. So it's very interesting that Uddhava, while remembering Krishna, is remembering the love of the Vraja Gopis. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we read the pastime that maybe Krishna detected in Uddhava something, maybe some little pride, that he was very attached to Krishna. So Krishna wanted to teach Uddhava a lesson. And then he said to Uddhava, Uddhava, can you please do something for me? Can you go to Vrindavan with a message? So Uddhava is thinking, yes, I'll go to Vrindavan and I'll console these devotees. I will tell them about Krishna, describe about him, yeah. But when he went to Vrindavan, first he went and met to the house of Nanda Maharaj. And there he saw that there was complete devastation in the house of Nanda Maharaj. Mother Yashoda was not cooking, she was not cleaning, there were spiders' webs everywhere. She was simply absorbed in thinking of Krishna. And the same with Nanda Maharaj. He was completely absorbed in thinking of what Krishna in viraha, in separation. And we know, according to the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that the highest displays of love is the most intense feelings of love is when there's not sambhog meeting, but when there's viraha, when there's separation. So Uddhava was, he was just shocked. He was just shocked by the display of the love of Nanda and Yashoda. But then he had to give the message to the gopis. Krishna also had a very specific message for the gopis. And when he went to see the gopis, I won't get into that because of time, but you can all read about it in the Bhagavatam. It's simply a magnificent pastime. And he was witnessing how Srimati Radharani was talking to the bee, how the gopis were so absorbed. And when he witnessed the love of the gopis, he became so taken aback. He felt so small in his devotion that he prayed. He prayed, let me please become a blade of grass in Vrindavan, that I may be trampled by the lotus feet of these gopis. because their love for Krishna is so deep, so magnificent. It's incomparable. And Prabhupada refers to it in the purport that, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yata mam prapajate, tam sthitaiva bhajami ham, that as they surrender unto me, I reciprocate with them accordingly. But the gopi, that statement about Krishna, he said, it is only applicable in a certain context. But that statement cannot apply for the gopis. Because once Krishna admitted, as Prabhupada says in the purport, that the love of the gopis was so great that he could not reciprocate. He told the gopis, I can't. Your love is so great, it's impossible for me to reciprocate. So please just be satisfied with your own love. So the gopis was so great that they even defeated Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yata mam prapajante. That Krishna was defeated. Their mind, their love was so superior, so unbelievable. So in this verse here, Uddhava is remembering those gopis, their love, their anguish, how they were so stunned, how they couldn't do anything in Krishna. They were just absorbed in thought of Krishna day and night. Okay, I think we were stopping at verse 14 and we've gone 8:32. I think I'll stop here and listen to the devotees, what realizations you have. Please share them about these verses we're reading and the purport. I may have missed something out. Every devotee has their own realizations. So please feel free to share to your devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Yes,
All
yes.
glories to Srila Prabhupada, Mamta here, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mamta Mataji.
Hare Krishna, after a long time I'm seeing you. Prabhuji, can I ask one small question?
Yeah,
So-
sure. I can understand. I can answer it.
No, this is a little bit out of the context. Can I ask?
Sure.
So this is regarding this thing came up in one of the classes, is that why did Jai Vijay, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha Loka, come down to earth? We know the story as to how the Saunaka rishis, all the four Saunaka Kumaras, all the four Kumaras, and the four Kumaras wanted to visit Lord Vishnu. They stopped them. So and obviously when they stopped them, then Vishnu comes out, and obviously Vishnu again asks them to come in, and then a curse is given as to Saunaka. The four Kumaras will give a curse to the Jai Vijay to say that you shouldn't have stopped us. Is it because, they have to come down to the earth again in three different, I think Lord Vishnu allows all the four Kumaras to go in, but then because the curse is given to the Jai Vijay, obviously they will be asking for pardon, but then Lord Vishnu says, either you can go there for seven lives as good people, or good devotees, or as 3 lives as very bad, like Rakshas or the demons. And what it is heard, that because they cannot be separated from Lord Vishnu for longer time, 7 lives is a big time, so they chose to go with the 3 very bad, like 3 worst demons in the life, so that they can come back to see. So the question was, why was there any pride in Saunaka, in the 4 Kumaras, that they were stopped over there? And we would think that 4 Kumaras were quite humble, isn't it? Because they're quite high revered people. So why did they become so angry? And why did they give the curse? Was it a little bit of pride in them? that made them happen? And we know all these are pastimes happening, but because like how you were trying, I'm just trying to relate like how Krishna sends Uddhava to go to Vrindavan to see for the humbleness, the humbleness. Is there something like that with the Saunaka Rishi, Saunaka Kumaras?
I read something, but I don't want to speak it out. I just need to read it again. But all I know is the acharyas say, this whole thing is part of Krishna's Leela. Krishna wanted to display superhuman pastimes. He wanted to display some fighting. He wanted to display some extraordinary pastimes, and he won't do it with anyone but his devotees. Even like the demons he wants to fight with. Like, for example, with Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
At one stage, when Lord Nrsimhadevi sat on the throne of Hiranyakashipu, and he put Prahlad on his lap, and he said, the Lord would never do that. Normally that seat would be considered contaminated.
Yes.
But still Lord Nrsimhadevi sat on it and he put Prahlad because he was thinking, this is my devotee. But it's all about bhav. When Krishna
but then he purifies the throne, isn't it?
Yeah, he purifies, but also there was a subtle aspect of him recognizing. But we have to go with the bhav of the Lord.
Yes.
But coming back to your question about, the Lord is so wonderful that he accomplishes many purposes, by certain actions. So I have read somewhere that there was some purification required of the Kumaras, and if you recall, when Jai and Vijay got cursed by the
Kumaras,
the Lord came running out. He didn't even have any shoes. He just came running out, and he was begging them to forgive him, and he said, what, the devotees are like my arms, and if you offend my devotees, like you're cutting part of my body. So yeah, but to answer your question, I can't remember the exact verses. If I find them, I'll share them with you. But there was something with the Kumaras that needed a bit of, I wouldn't say purification, but needed some lesson to be taught. And then we know that the whole thing is arrangement of the Lord, the curse.
Yes, Prabhuji. I know other devotees are waiting, but just only out of this today's verse, what I really, one more thing, a little bit I was trying to understand was that we know, we say Krishna and Vishnu are the same, we say, but then again separate, right? So how do we make the devotees understand? Because some people will say, Vishnu is Krishna, Krishna is Vishnu. So why obviously we know that the number of qualities are more with Krishna than Vishnu, but why do we say Krishna is Vishnu and Vishnu is Krishna and again put them as separate again? Because now Vishnu and Lakshmi want to come and see the all attractive Krishna because they're so much attracted towards Krishna. They want to come and see, they don't want to miss that. So how do we tell people that how come both of them are separate and both of them are again same?
Yeah, simultaneously one and different.
Yes.
I guess we could just explain our Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained it. There's the original candle. You take one candle from the original candle, another candle from that candle. All of the candles are the same burning power, but so they are same and different. And then you can explain, these four qualities of Krishna. But Krishna is the original candle. He's Swayam Bhagavan. It's difficult for a number of people to appreciate. We shouldn't, try to convince them otherwise.
Yes,
just if they want to feel they're same, okay, they're same. Yeah, we agree with you. They are the same.
Okay.
But if they really want to understand a little more, then we can tell them what's different. But we are not here to try to defeat anyone or anything like that. For their purposes, they are the same. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else got any questions, comments, or reflections? I see Sum Madhura Radhikadasi. Thank you. Gita. Beautiful to contemplate the glories of the love of the gopis. Yes, very much so. Hare Krishna. Anyone else got any reflections or realizations they like to share? I think some of the devotees are shy. They want to keep the bhav in their heart. Because when they speak, then we'll see it. All right. If no one's got any other comments or reflections, we'll close today's class. Thank you very much. It's my honor and privilege to be in your association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your service. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Buddhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Ananta Koti
namaha.
Vaishnava Vrinda
Ki jai.
Prabhupada
Ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Ki jai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Prabhuji. Thank you for
Thank
the
you
class.
so much, Prabhuji. Absolutely
Prabhuji. Hare
wonderful. Nice.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.